So, ladies and gentlemen, we got some breaking news. UFC 294 Volkanovski versus Makhachev is now what it is. It is no longer Oliveira versus Makhachev. Volkanovski, the absolute Chad, is stepping in on 10 days' notice to fight for the lightweight title, a division above his natural weight class. And he's fighting Islam Makhachev in a rematch October 21st. This is crazy news. Um, so I just got back from fucking school before. I looked at my phone and I see Full Violence posting it. I see a bunch of pages posting it. And I was like, is this just some weird rumor that's been started by some bullshit thing? Nah, Dana White makes an announcement and confirms Charles Oliveira got a bad cut in sparring just before he was going to fly out, so he couldn't make the fight. And Volkanovski, they called him up, and obviously because he's a G, he just accepts the fight straight away, no questions asked, no issues, and now he's the fighter. He's the replacement main event, and this is crazy. Look, let's be honest. Islam is probably gonna win. Like I want Volkanovski to win. I'm gonna pick Volkanovski just because I'm gonna start to pick some of this dumb shit to happen because like we've gotten so many dumb results this year that I'm feeling like maybe um Volkanovski can win, but logically, you kind of got to pick Islam. Like short notice, Volkanovski's was like had an injury. He wasn't expecting to be good for October originally, and now he's apparently good for October. He was gonna fight in January against Ilia Topuria, and now he's cutting that forward 3 months to fight, um, or cutting that back 3 months to fight Islam on a short notice fight. He's not gonna have the time to bulk up as well. None of that. He's just going straight in there as a 45er, like Max Holloway, Khabib type kind of shit back when he was going to fight him. Just go up on short notice and fight as your weight. No bulking up, none of that. And he's going to take the fight. So, look, Volkanovski can definitely win. And the hope that I have here is that Islam hasn't really been working on the problems that he had in the first fight, which Volkanovski was able to exploit. And he's hasn't worked on those because he's working on a game plan for Charles Oliveira. And so when a guy steps in on short notice and you're fighting a completely different style, instead of now this like jiu-jitsu Muay Thai fighter, you're now getting this short, stocky, compact guy with like who's fundamentally way better than Oliveira, who doesn't go to ground willingly and play the jiu-jitsu game. None of that. So maybe there's something there for Volkanovski that he can kind of work with because obviously Islam's not going to have prepared for him. And maybe Volkanovski's going to be better prepared for Islam. He's going to have that in the back of his mind. He's going to be thinking about it, and like he's going to immediately know what he has to do. I think he's going to definitely come out more aggressive, and definitely like be more across what he needs to do. After that first fight, I think he's going to have a lot more confidence as well. You noticed in the first fight he was really hesitant a lot of the time. He didn't want to open up too much on the feet. He got dropped a few times when he did open up. And even in the grappling and stuff as well, like he was a bit too hesitant there, is what he said. So you never know. Maybe he's going to be like way better, more confident, and just pressure Islam and fight more effectively. But all the like intangibles in this fight go towards Islam. He's the one in camp. He's the one that was preparing for a fight on this date. Volkanovski was not looking to fight on this date originally. He's not going to be prepared for the weight class, like none of that. He's going to be flying out on 10 days' notice, probably going to be a bit jet lagged, all of that stuff too. Like, literally everything that isn't the skills of the fighters advantages Islam. Um, he's going to have a longer time to rehydrate as well. No longer going to be in Australia. Like, all of it, just everything favours Islam. But Volk's Volk, so you never know. He could pull it off. And the way this year's been going, it wouldn't even be the craziest thing to happen this year. Um, Look, we really want Volk to win, obviously. All prayers go to Volk. We need him to win this fight. That would be amazing because if he loses twice, it's going to be tough. Um, but he can still get it done. As I said, like he's just got to be more effective with the pressure. Like he's got to be more confident. He's going to know what he's doing on the feet. I think he might almost be quicker on the feet now as well because he's not going to be holding that extra weight. I think he's almost going to be a better striker too. He was going to be preparing for Taporia as well, so I think he's going to be good. Coming off a training camp for Yair, He's in that kind of striking shape too, probably. And he's probably worked a bit more of his offensive grappling as well. But it really remains to be seen how these two are going to show up. Like if Volk shows up, he said he was coming off like a bit of an injury too, which is why it was going to take till next year for him to fight originally. So if he does indeed like come in compromised, injured, you can't come into a fight with Islam compromised in any way because otherwise you're already almost at a disadvantage. But um, Islam's opened as like a -215, Volkanovski at +185. I think those are pretty sensible odds, to be honest. Like, you can't put Islam as like a massive favourite given what happens the first time, but I would also be kind of cautious about putting Volk as like a small underdog or even a favourite. Given that obviously he's stepping in on short notice, I expect those odds to probably widen a little bit. I think Islam's probably going to close around -300, just because of this whole short notice thing. If it was a long camp and he had time to prepare, I would assume Volk would be probably somewhere around like +150, Islam like -200. But just because of the short notice, all of that, I think that does favour Islam, obviously. But yeah, that's the news. Crazy stuff. Didn't think we were gonna have a lot to talk about, but bam, like straight away, that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be tough for Oliveira. I don't know if he's gonna get an immediate title shot now because the only reason he kind of got this title shot was because they assumed that the winner of Gaethje Poirier wouldn't be able to turn around in time. But honestly, in hindsight, Gaethje probably could have turned around for October. So Gaethje will probably get the next title shot. Maybe Oliveira might have to fight Gamrot for a number one contenders fight after this. That'll be sometime next year. Look, it's not a bad injury. It's just a cut, which will take time to like close up and heal. So that's a bit tough. But the only other thing we got to talk about is apparently Paulo Costa is going to be pulling out of the fight with Hamzat. Dana White said that fight is in jeopardy, and he said that we would know by today, probably. He would have news for us by today if that fight was going to indeed get replaced. So, short notice fights are plenty could be happening here. Imagine it ends up going from Oliveira Islam and Hamzat Costa. So, Hamzat Costa, and then it ends up being like Volkanovski Islam and then Hamza versus, I don't know, Vittoria or Whitaker or something. Like, I'm not sure who the replacement's going to be. I'm trying to think of who's like on the smaller side of middleweights um, to make it easier cut, so it's not going to be too bad for them to be cutting down to middleweight because, like, I doubt it'll be like they're not going to. Cannonier's booked. It wouldn't be Duplessis. It wouldn't be Strickland. It wouldn't be Adesanya. Um, like maybe Whitaker, maybe Vittori, because the Lids is booked, Cannonier's booked. So we could see Vittori or Whitaker fight Hamza maybe, or Costa just stays in the fight. That could also happen. But that's the news. Crazy stuff. Let me know who you guys are going to be picking down in the comments. Obviously, oh, I really want Volk to win. It would be so good, but I just don't like. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't like. It would be so 2023 for Volkanovski to beat Islam, and it would just suit how the way this year's gone. Um, but I don't know, man. It's just hard to see someone beat Islam, compromised and on short notice. Like that's just rough. So. Let me know who you guys are picking in that fight. I hope Volkanovski wins. Let me know if you think Costa's going to pull out. If Costa pulls out, he's literally the biggest pussy ever, and he should never be. He should never fight in the UFC again. He should get cut. He's an abomination. But yeah, all of that. Let me know. Go follow my Instagram, Left Lane MMA. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.